Welcome to the Explainer. So we've all been playing around with AI, right? But the era of these one-size-fits-all tools, well, it's coming to an end. The real frontier, the thing that's going to change everything, is customization, making AI work exactly for you and your goals. Let's dive in. I mean, really think about it. Are you tired of explaining the same context to your AI assistant over and over again? Don't you just wish it knew your company's internal jargon or the details of that personal project you're working on? This is the core problem we're going to solve today. Generic AI is a great starting point for sure, but it is not the destination. So who are the big players leading the charge into this new world? Well, 4 major companies have stepped into the ring, but here's the catch. They're not all playing the same game. They have 3 totally distinct philosophies about what custom AI should even be and who it's really for.
Okay, this table basically maps out the entire landscape for us. You can see right away OpenAI is trying to build a public app store for AI. Microsoft, on the other hand, is all in on secure tools for big business. And then you've got Google and Anthropic. What are they doing? They're in an all-out arms race for pure, raw model power, basically betting that the smartest AI is the one that's going to win in the end.
Look, the best tool for you really depends on what you're trying to do. So let's break this down into 3 super clear paths. I promise, by the end of this, you'll know exactly which one is right for you.
All right, path number 1. This is for the builders, the makers, the entrepreneurs out there. This path is for anyone who's got an idea and wants to create and sell an AI product directly to the public.
So here's OpenAI's big bet with their GPTs. They want to create a marketplace that feels just like Apple's App Store, but for AI. The whole idea is that anybody, and I mean anybody, can build a specialized AI agent and put it up for sale. And their business model is changing too. It's moving away from just charging for usage to a take-rate model. What that means is OpenAI gets a little slice of the pie whenever your GPT helps make a commercial transaction happen, like booking a hotel or ordering a pizza. Just imagine the potential here for a second. Let's say you're an expert in historical fiction. You could train a GPT on all these obscure historical archives and documents. Then, other writers could pay to use your tool to make sure their dialogue and facts are totally authentic. You've just created a hyper-niche, but incredibly valuable product.
Now for a complete 180. Path number 2. This is for the business leaders, the IT pros, the people inside a company where the focus isn't on public products at all, but on internal stuff, automation, efficiency, and most importantly, security. Microsoft's approach is a whole different world. Copilot Studio is not a public marketplace. It's an enterprise engine. It's designed to let companies build their own private, super secure AI agents that are woven right into the tools they already use every single day, like Microsoft Teams. And the key word here, the thing they are obsessed with, is security. They use tools like Microsoft Purview to lock down data access and crush those privacy risks.
And here's a perfect example of what that means in the real world. An employee just types out their IT problem in plain English. A custom agent that's been trained on the company's own internal documents doesn't just spit back advice. No, it automatically creates a support ticket, routes it to the right department, and can even escalate it if it's urgent. That's deep, proactive automation that saves a ton of time and money.
So you can really see the 2 different universes, right? OpenAI is all about public-facing products for the creator economy. Microsoft is building internal agents for big organizations where security and efficiency are everything. At the end of the day, your goal really does define the tool you should be using.
And finally, path 3. This one isn't about selling a product or automating a company. This path is all about you. It's about maximizing your own personal productivity by getting your hands on the most powerful core AI models that exist. Now, to really get this path, you have to understand a key concept called the context window. What is that? Well, just think of it as the AI's short-term memory. The more information it can hold and think about all at once, an entire book, a dozen reports, a massive chunk of code, the smarter and more powerful it becomes. A bigger context window is an absolute game changer.
And this is exactly where Google and Anthropic are battling it out. Their main focus isn't really on building separate app stores. It's on making their core AI models unbelievably powerful.
Anthropic's Claude, for example, has a mind-blowing 1 million token context window, and Google's Gemini is trying to be this proactive assistant with new features like scheduled actions and privacy tools like temporary chat. This is where it gets crazy powerful. A researcher, instead of building some special research bot, can just upload all of their source material, like a dozen dense academic papers, and ask the AI to synthesize the key insights in a single prompt. The raw power of the model is the custom tool here. It's just incredible.
Okay, we've seen all the amazing how, but now it's time for a little reality check. We need to talk about the should we. Because as custom AI gets more powerful and plugged into every part of our work, it raises some really serious questions about security, privacy, and who's ultimately responsible when things go wrong.
For any business out there, this is the million-dollar question. If a custom Copilot agent you built gives out terrible financial advice or accidentally leaks sensitive customer data, who's on the hook? Well, the answer is pretty clear. The organization is. It's your responsibility to train, secure, and govern the agents you create.
And what about for us as individuals? It all comes down to trust, doesn't it? When you give an AI access to your personal files, your private thoughts, what's really happening behind the curtain? You know, features like Google's temporary chat are a direct answer to this worry, giving us an option for a conversation that's truly private and won't be used for training.
And finally, for you creators building on platforms like OpenAI's, you face what's called the black box problem. You're building your awesome new tool on top of this massive model that you don't fully control. You have to put your trust in that black box, hoping the underlying AI isn't secretly biased or going to start making things up in a way that could cause real harm. All right, we have covered a ton of ground. We've looked at the three paths, the big players, and the very real risks. So now, let's bring it all home and put it together into a clear, actionable playbook so you can figure out which tool is the right one for you. So here it is, the final breakdown. It's actually pretty simple. If you want to build a commercial product for the public, you're going to want to look at OpenAI's GPT store. If you need to automate your internal business workflows and security is your top priority, then Microsoft's Copilot Studio is the no-brainer solution. And if you just want to supercharge your personal productivity and become a power user, then the raw horsepower of Google's Gemini and Anthropic's Claude is exactly what you need. So the most crucial takeaway here is this. The skill that really matters is shifting. It's not just about using AI anymore, it's about building with it. In a very real sense, we are all becoming AI builders now. So the only question left is, what will you create?